We've been in the midst of an EV truck race for some time now, with all the different manufacturers vying for position in the marketplace. GMC Hummer truck, Tesla's Cybertruck, the one that looks like the Homer Simpson mobile, even the Ford Lightning. But the first to get it done turns out to be Rivian. And they would release a truck that would strike fear to the hearts of everyone that has dyslexia. And that, of course, would be the Rivian R1T. The Rivian R1T produces 835 brake horsepower and 905 pound-feet of torque. The R1T is built on a skateboard platform. It's a quad motor configuration, so you have an electric motor on each corner of the skateboard, if you will. And the shape itself makes sense. I mean, think about a truck. Basically line it with laptop batteries and you're good to go. But the way this can apply the power to each wheel and what it accomplishes, it's astonishing.
So fast, you could do 0 to 60, 3 seconds. 0 to 100, 7.
So the Rivian we're with right now is the Launch Edition. Now, the Launch Edition caused quite a stir when it came out initially. In fact, Rivian, with no prior communication or warning, shut down pre-orders for the Launch Edition after just a few days. And this is in November of 2020, well before orders from the general population totaled over 48,000. Nobody's really sure how many of these there are, at least I wasn't able to find out, but it can't be more than 5,000. So Launch Editions come with special interior badging. They have an exclusive launch green color for the exterior, and all Launch Editions come with a larger battery pack that's good for 314 miles. Launch Editions can upgrade their wheels and tires at no extra cost. All the Launch Editions come with the Adventure package. So that gets you a premium interior with hot and cold seats. The color here is called Forest Edge, and they call it perforated vegan leather. Now you get a really pretty natural grain porous ash colored wood across the dash. Gorgeous. You also get gear guard remote monitoring and an optional power tonneau cover. So there certainly is a presence to this truck. And a lot of it depends on from which way you're looking at it. From the front end, you look at it and it says, I'm aggressive yet restrained, in a non-threatening sort of way. The rear end says, touch me and my dad will sue. And if that wasn't enough, you also get your own private flashlight. You know how in those Rolls Royces where they automatically come with an umbrella in the rear door? Well, here you get 1,000 lumens of Rivian power. It's like looking into your own private white dwarf. And if 1,000 lumens isn't enough to brighten up your trip when you're with your other eco friends, you also have a detachable Bluetooth speaker that has a surprising amount of bass. You can take it with you wherever you want, and you can even charge your phone off of it with a USB-C port in the back. You also get this handy gear tunnel. Yes, you also can have 11.6 cubic feet of additional space for your wares and your things behind the cabin. What's cool about this is you can also buy a $5,000 kitchen add-on, I kid you not. It slides into a tunnel that's powered to the battery, it rolls out, and it comes with a sink, electric range stove, cutlery. It even comes, and I kid you not, with those hipster lights that you can hang up and drink your iced tea out of mason jars. You get 11 cubic feet of space in the frunk, so it is enough to stash a 6'2", 185 pound male with big teeth, and it's kind of gangly. So what's the Rivian like in person? This is one of the few vehicles that, to me, struck me as profoundly different experiencing it firsthand as opposed to reading about it or looking at pictures online. So the Rivian, to me at least online, looked huge. It looked like a Silverado or an F-150, and they've always marketed it as a mid-sized truck, but when you see it in person, you understand why. It puts you in the mind of a Honda Ridgeline or a Ford Ranger that's been roided out. Granted, the proportions are more athletic. It's wider, a little bit taller, a different wheelbase, but it is very much a mid-sized truck. So let's talk about redundancy a second. Rivian seems to think that you don't need any. That 15.6-inch screen in the middle, everything that happens in that truck pretty much happens through that screen. You can't change the direction of the vents to control your air conditioning without that screen. You can't pop the gear doors in the back without that screen. You can't do much of anything without that screen. They're very confident in it. Okay, I can take confidence. But they also didn't think to include Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. There's no redundancy set up. What if you take the Rivian out somewhere to the wilderness where they say you can go that this truck is built for? And let's say you have a problem. How do you get it started? There's no redundancy. There's a lot of cool features in this thing. Flashlights that pop out of the door like a lightsaber, an R2-D2 in Return of the Jedi, a Bluetooth speaker that you pull right out of the center console. All cool stuff. But they didn't think about the practical things that happen in the real world, or at least it doesn't seem like it. Why not have toggle switches, programmable toggle switches in the center stack that you can customize their function? And you have a built-in layer to get around the screen in case something goes wrong. Why didn't they think of that? In fact, it kind of makes me think, who was this truck built for? I'll tell you who. I think it's probably a guy named Ronan. Ronan was born in Peoria, but he speaks with an intermittent Australian accent, as if he was born in Brisbane or something. Hi, I'm Ronan, and I am the founder and CEO of Colour Shop. Colour Shop is about giving all the children of the world a chance to color with colored pencils that are sharp. It's a co-op that sharpens colored pencils. If I had to guess, Ronan is probably a vegan. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I founded this company with the help of my little sis, Moira. She's also the CFO. So I said to myself and my sis, we can do this. Why not affect change? Why not stand up and say no? And if I had to take a wild guess, I would say that Ronan is probably looking for something that's reasonable, you know, something that doesn't hurt the environment. One that I can see the antelope and the apes and... I mean, he's not asking that much, really, right? An urban or rural ute, or a truck, as you guys say here in the States, and one with which I can see the world, so I can do it all without guilt, because I'm not putting any emissions into the air. It's the same air that those kids that are going to college need. Ronan is the final boss. He's the guy you have to beat after you take on the Subaru drivers, the Tesla enthusiasts, and the other granola crunchers in the Northwest. He fights the man with protein shakes and sweat lodge retreats. You see, it's all about positivity with Ronan. It's not even a tattoo, it's a birthmark. I've had it ever since I came out of my mom's tum-tum. Okay, but the gear tunnel where you have to hit the button in the center stack, there were times where I had to press the button 4 times enough for that little motor to pop that door enough for me to actually get it open. Little things like that. Redundancy. Stuff isn't always going to go perfect. I mean, haven't they ever used an iPad in 20-degree weather where it gets slow or seen a blue screen of death? Okay. So don't get me wrong. The Rivian is an amazing truck. I think it is the big leap forward for EV trucks. I mean, bringing Americans on board and getting us ready to accept an electrically powered pickup truck is a big deal. I think they're doing what they can to solve range anxiety. I think they're trying to show that you can have a truly lifestyle pickup truck and incorporate it into your everyday life. I just think there's a couple things that they need to reel in. Number one, you don't always have to be at the cool table. Give us time. Give us some analog features for us to interact with. The truck is super capable. There's 8 different drive modes. You can tow 11,000 pounds with this truck. That's incredible. But give us a little time to catch up. In our opinion, you're already the first one at the table. Don't forget to like and subscribe.